Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for stopping by our channel and hanging out with us after Inter Miami just destroyed Houston 4-1. Our first victory of the MLS season, and Mascherano continues his unbeaten streak. Before we begin, a huge shout out to our Chief Heron Heads, Chow and Marivi. Thank you so much for your continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening, as well as links to our Discord server and merch store. So if those things are of interest, check those out. Otherwise, if you could just do us a huge favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons, helps a lot. And without further ado, Inter Miami with another stress-free evening for us. What an absolute delight. How are we feeling?
Amazing. Another dominant performance. We said it a few times already. This team looks a lot stronger than last year's team. Overall, we didn't even have our new shiny defensive piece play at all today in Falcon. And the defense looks solid. It was an absolute showing. Our two newest attackers, Telasco Segovia and Allende, looked just lights out. Suarez with some nice assists. It was just overall really, really nice. They never let up the whole match. It was just solid, continuing, just attack, and that's what we've seen from Mascherano so far. So I really like his tactics. Again, it's very different from what we were used to with Tata, but it's exciting, man. I'm excited, and this is just another match of complete domination from these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's again, like Julio said, stress-free matches are what you kind of live for. I mean, and you don't expect to see 4-1 when Messi's not on the pitch. So that's always great to see. And what makes it even better, it's the first three goals were Segovia and Allende. So that's instant satisfaction for the signings that you had from the offseason. I know that they've already been contributing, but when Messi takes a seat, you expect those players to really take the step forward. And I mentioned it on the Discord. Segovia, we said nobody's gonna like one for one replace Gomez. Segovia is making me forget Gomez pretty quickly. I'll tell you that. I know Gomez is doing really well in the Premier League, and I applaud him, and that's fantastic for the club. But man, we might not have Segovia much longer either, because if he keeps this type of play up, he's gonna want to move on to greater pastures and credit what he learns here to Messi. I mean, that's the fantastic part of having Messi on the club, is that people want to come here and play with him. People who are passing through pick up as much as possible from Messi, and you see Gomez as well was interviewed. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, and he did lend a lot of his development to Messi. Messi taught him how to be on the ball, how to always move forward, and when he has the ball, to just be confident. And this is something that you're seeing it with Gomez in the Premier League. You're seeing it with this club here. Look no further than Noah Allen, which is insane for me to say it, and I'm giving him credit. I think Noah Allen bashing days are over. He's taken huge strides. The move to center back seems to be like he's found home. He's going to be MLS legend, undersized center back moving forward, and that's fantastic. But he just looks like a completely different player, and this is now the second match in a row where he ends the night with the captain's band around his arm. So much praise, deserved praise for Noah Allen. And this is one of those types of matches that you just can't stop smiling. There's so many reasons to be happy.
Yeah, outside of the goal that was allowed towards the end of the match, I mean, everything went well. The defense looked good. The offense looked really good. The midfield looked really good. The goalkeeping was very good. There's no negatives. Like, we've had people in the past be like, "Oh, guys, we won. Like, be happy." But it's part of our job to sort of nitpick and see where we can improve. But really, tonight was I mean, a really good showing by this team, considering that we didn't have Messi. We hadn't seen that all preseason really, and obviously into the competitive season. So there was a lot of question marks, but man, they put out the lineup and I was very happy. I thought it would still be a very competitive team and one that would be very hard to beat. Still very talented and high skill, high quality players all over the pitch. And they balled out, man. They dominated pretty much from the first whistle to the last.
We didn't stop. We just kept going. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much Julio nitpicking. I don't know what we could possibly say to like when I can only imagine Marcano like looking at the tape and saying, so we just need that all year. You know what I mean? That's what we need all year. Just don't let up. Just consistently score goals and just have just blank them every time. That's what we want. Yeah, I mean we did great. I mean, all we can do is just praise him right now because Luis Suarez three assists in the first half. Right? I mean that got us going. You know, the guy came to play. He's like Messi's not Messi's not in. No worries. Pitoleros here, baby. And he just came in there and just came out firing. I loved watching him. I felt like I was back in Barcelona days. Just this guy just knocking them dead. One goal to come, just happy to score a goal as well. Yeah, as we get with Segovia, another great day. I feel like he's also kind of getting himself acclimated to the club. Although it's funny, the broadcast today, they couldn't stop talking about Allende and Segovia, how like they just were brought in, right? Like it doesn't look as that, but it's like they were just brought in. You can only imagine. I hope we don't have to already start thinking about these guys leaving because like it's really annoying if that's the case. Because like, yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna have a quick like replacement for Gomez. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty quick.
So look, they're different players, though, right?
Sorry, Chris. Here's one negative we can talk about: all the yellow cards and all the red cards.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up a little later. Bright wasn't too bright tonight.
A little later. Not right now.
Yeah, no, because the comments.
It's right on the parade, guys.
Yeah, Bright wasn't bright tonight. Bright had a very rough match, and we've been wanting to see him out there with the starters, and he just didn't have it tonight, man. He was
others had worse nights
all
though.
over the place.
Others had a worse night.
But I give Bright a pass. I mean, he's been out for a while now with whatever that laceration on his leg was. So he's a very physical, aggressive player. So you expect him to kind of need a little bit of time to get back to refining his game a little bit. So I do give him a pass in this one. And then the one that hurts the most is that red card post match to Ian Frey. That hopefully the league will look at it a little more and possibly rescind it, because from what I saw, it didn't really look like much. After the final whistle, he was kind of locked in shirts with a Houston player. He kind of shoved him off. It did brush the ref, who was in between both of them, but that's not what seemed to cause the red card. Frey walked away off of the camera, so you couldn't really see what he might have said, and the ref was just staring him down the whole time and then gave him the red. So hopefully that doesn't stand. Hopefully the league can look into it and see if they can rescind it, maybe change it to a yellow or something. But that hurts somewhat. I mean, but how many games in a row do you really expect Frey to continue playing? Cello, I heard is close to coming back. So it shouldn't hurt.
No Island back there. How about it? Where
Island, if he plays on the wing, it's usually on the left. And I don't know if Lujan can play on the right. So there we have options. It's what we've said in the past few episodes, that we do have enough versatility with that back line that we can kind of cover for each other.
David, we're at an all-time high. It doesn't matter at this point. Put Robert Taylor right back. Doesn't matter. Who we playing next? It doesn't matter. You understand? It doesn't matter. These freaking guys are better than last year. We were better than last year. Why do you figure? We're not gonna lose. It's done.
It's crazy to even want to think that they're better than last year.
I feel like we're better.
But it's out there. The proof is
deeper, more well-rounded team.
We better coached, more dangerous, better coached. That's huge difference here. Huge difference here.
We were talking about Bright, and then Dave kind of went on tangent talking about the yellow card.
Yeah, good job, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. I'm pretty sure the question was bring it up when I do that. I'm normally the one to take us off the tangent, but this time it was you. I'm just going to say it. Now, we were talking about Bright. Really get back in, right? That's what you were talking about, Chris. It's funny because Bright...
Oh, look at the question, Jose. Read the question.
We'll take it off the question. Here, I'll help you. Boom. Now let's talk about Bright. All right, so we were talking about Bright, and one thing that was interesting when we were talking about him was that yeah, I agree. He's a very physical player. It's gonna take a little bit to acclimate him into how he used to play, right? We haven't gotten much from him this year. We haven't seen much. It's gonna take him a little time. What I don't want him to get into the mold of last year. Remember, there is we had a few players that we weren't able to get into the picture, and they just never developed throughout the year. I think it was I forgot whatever, but
Ruiz
right? Like he
Ruiz
never
and
just got
Kramaski
going throughout
took
the
a back
year.
seat.
Kremaski as well. Like
But
there's some players that
theirs wasn't due to injury. I feel like
I know, but
Bright was because of his injury.
so I wouldn't put him in the doghouse right now because he also had a great play, right? Where one of the goals that we got was because he was pressing. He got the right, and that's the one that I believe it was. He stole it like around like
he sort of poked it. Segovia then took it. Bright dribbled it upfield, passed wide to Suarez, who passed it back to Segovia and then fumbled around, but got to it eventually.
He did a little spin move there, and he got it. Yeah, beautiful play all around, and that interplay just in general of just like hell on wheels is what it felt like. Just get it, go until like the inevitable happens.
I mean, really, all 4 goals were so good in their own right. The first one came from very good pressing. Benja gets a tip on the ball that was being passed back. Suarez makes a very difficult pass seem completely pedestrian, just like hitting it outside the foot as it's coming to him with pace, right into the path of Segovia, who I felt like he chose the most difficult option for scoring that goal because he just passed it near post around the goalkeeper. Again, making it look very simple, but actually a very difficult finish. The second goal, Allende's goal, I thought was the goal of the night, and then Suarez did a really nice solo goal. But Allende's goal, I mean, my goodness. Segovia takes it. I think it was off of a set piece that we sort of controlled it, and then Segovia gets it at the top of our own box, turns up field, and no one's on him, just passes it to Suarez way wide, and Suarez sort of one-times it over the top. Allende to control the ball and then outrun 3 defenders who were trailing him. And then he hits it basically top of the box with his left foot. Across goal into the side netting. Such an insane goal.
Stupid.
I like
the Suarez goal more to be honest.
He plays on the ball and off the ball just with lots of strength, and you saw it with that goal. That goal was insane to be able to pull that off, but just all around the pitch, he plays with. He's strong. He's a big dude. He's strong. I don't know how big he is. Maybe 6'7", like who was it that I was saying 6'7"?
Toto 6'7".
Toto 6'7". No. But yeah, man, he's a strong dude, and he powers and he bullies people in there. It's awesome to see him play.
Yeah, that goal was special. Like, it was legitimately special. And then the third goal we sort of already discussed with Bright and Segovia stealing the ball in midfield, dribbling it up, and Segovia just sort of shuffling at his feet and getting to it. And then the Suarez goal came from nothing.
Beautiful.
Like completely nothing. And he shook that defender out of his socks, man.
Bro, but the vision that he had, that he just wanted to keep shifting to the left.
It was the vision, the dribble, like his feet. I have not seen his feet in an Inter Miami kit move so fast. He did like 5 steps very quickly, shook the defender and sent him to, I don't know, a retirement home, and then moved to the left, then held someone off, right? So he used his physicality and his strength, and then finished nicely again near post of the keeper.
Yeah,
that was really good individual effort.
That was just a throwback, right? It's just just reminds you that that's why I love it, because I'm like, when this guy has it, he has it. And not only like, even there's plays that we had in this game today that I was watching, and there's a flick. I think it was Alba that had a flick towards the end of the game that, like, I forgot what the end of it resulted.
Ruiz almost scored. Ruiz almost scored.
But yeah, you're almost pissed off at Ruiz for not scoring that, right? Because it was just such the harder play. I felt like was the pass where you just like out of like 5, just over 2 players perfectly and landed perfectly on his foot. Like, come on, man, at least hit somebody, just trip on it, but don't,
And Suarez could have had another goal with the pass from Telasco Segovia too.
Chris already changed the subject. We're talking about Ruiz.
No, we're talking about Suarez, weren't we?
I know,
was the
but
original thing, right?
we're getting mad at Ruiz right now.
You got to relax. Leave Ruiz alone. He did fine for 5 minutes. But yeah, Suarez had one super close. It kind of brings back to the point that Suarez, I feel like all season he's been almost there on so many things. It was my dog barking. But he's just right there, but he's in the mix and he just doesn't really finish it. So it was nice to see that goal from him tonight to actually make the move and finish that. And then he also had his assists tonight, which are beautiful.
Crazy.
But yeah, it seems like he's missing just like this little touch just to finish a lot of these plays this season. But hopefully he's getting it there. He's getting hot, you know.
And he's the type of player that always has that. He always has that in his back pocket. We don't see it as often as maybe in the past in his career. And earlier in the match, even, you know, he had a couple opportunities that weren't even in the same area code as the goal. And you're like, that's frustrating. It's going to come. You know it's going to come eventually. But early on, he was completely missing the target, was able to contribute with the assist, which is fantastic. And that was kind of a big question when the lineup was released is how are these players going to play with Suarez up top? Because Suarez doesn't really, I mean, it's crazy to say, but he doesn't always add to the buildup of the play. Usually he just sort of meanders and gets to the box. And yeah, he might make a 1-2 pass here and there, but that's when Messi's on the pitch. Without Messi, do these players know how to play with Suarez? And 3 assists and a goal. There's not much more you can ask. I don't think the third assist was technically given, but essentially 3 assists and a goal. Just really a testament to obviously to Suarez, but also to the players that were placed around him to understand where to be, how to play with him, how to use his strengths.
I don't know if it's fair to say, but you know where I've noticed that Suarez has that problem is when we're like kind of building the play, right? And he has to make a quick decision, or he has to like kind of get the play started, right? Because when these plays have happened and he's gotten the assist, I feel like it's very bang bang, right? Like he knows, okay,
he's
clearly,
not the one driving the play. He's not in Yannick Bright's position when he ran up the pitch. He's
right.
The one that's receiving the last ball or
and he knows
playing a
clearly
ball in.
that's where I gotta go. Like clearly, this is what I gotta do. But because I've noticed that he overthinks so much when the play is developing that he almost doesn't know how to set the play up from the like hockey assist kind of thing, right? Or he's not thinking about the hockey assist. He's thinking about like, okay, I don't know if he's trying to get.
He's like, how do I score in this situation?
Right, and sometimes it's not for you to score, right? Like sometimes it's like, okay, I have to trust my teammate. And today I don't think he was put in that situation, to be honest. Where
I thought he played honestly like a wonderful game. He could have put some
put him in the right
target.
spots. Is what I'm saying. I think
he could have put some other shots on target, but outside of that, he played a wonderful game.
Yeah.
I assume he was the best, like the man of the match.
You want to get into that?
Sure. Do you want to get into that?
Are you ready for it? That's the question.
I am ready.
You've been kind of not ready lately.
Really, with the last goal, he became man of the match because otherwise I would have said Segovia.
Interesting that okay, well, we'll see. So who do you say?
Suarez.
Okay.
Segovia.
Suarez, Segovia. Solid choices. Dave, you going crazy?
That leaves me with no Allen.
Ooh.
Interesting that you said that, David. Because I'll get to that later. Man of the match, Luis Suarez, 9.1. Segovia edged out at 8.9.
Nice.
Just barely. Yeah, Segovia had a fantastic game.
He had an incredible match, man.
And to bring it up while we're doing man of the match, we can also include a question because people say we never answer any questions. With this good lineup, any future for Robert Taylor? I feel like that's a perfect time to answer this after we've made Segovia the man of the match. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, we have these new guys coming in playing out of their minds, but I still think we need Robert Taylor in there this is a long season, man. We have 3 tournaments and a super long MLS season. You need these guys, you need these rotational pieces for games like today. Today, yes, they played today, but maybe we play another Western Conference team that we don't really care about if we win or lose or draw or whatever, and you want to roll these guys out there and give these young guys a rest. That's kind of what you got to do with Robert Taylor. Now, if you get some crazy offer from another MLS team or whatever, yeah, you think about it. But you need these depth pieces in there, and that's what I think Robert Taylor is right now for this team.
Yeah, exactly. He adds playmaking ability, speed, all these things off the bench, which is something that you just need for when you do have all these kinds of tournaments and competitions going on at the same time. So I think that's his future, unless they find a buyer or who really blows Miami out of the water with an offer. I don't see him going anywhere. They did just re-sign him. The club does think highly of him. He's a good glue guy in the locker room, and he's happy to be here. So that I don't expect him to go anywhere, and I expect his role to be exactly what we saw today. He comes in off the bench, maybe in a pinch if there's a knock or two and there's a few matches in a row. He might get the start every now and then, but for the most part, that's his role. He's not gonna be the Robert Taylor of 2 seasons ago or anything like that. He's just gonna be exactly what we've seen today specifically.
And even just, yeah, exactly to your point, the flexibility of being able to sub off Segovia and have a capable MLS player come in. And I mean, he's basically an MLS veteran at this point in his career. To have him be able to come on and make runs, create space, stretch the field a little bit, that's important. And yeah, he'll rotate in because we're in various competitions. Maybe he'll start against Cavalier in one of these two legs. But yeah, we need all these guys on the bench. We need Santi Morales eventually, right? He's going to have to rotate in at some point, whether it's a substitute appearance or having to plug in for longer stretches for whatever reason, be it injury or international duty. I mean, all these players have an important part to play in sort of this season's story. And yeah, however we feel about Robert Taylor, however long it's been since his last goal or meaningful play, these players are all important because, to Chris's point, there's so many different competitions across this entire season that we need to manage minutes around.
Yeah, I'd rather not have Robert Taylor. I think ultimately we're better without him. I think the moment we put him in, we don't see this kind of an outburst, to be honest.
So you would rather lose Robert Taylor and replace it with nothing, and that makes us better?
Look, right now we're gonna have we might have a vacancy at right back. I think you could put him there just for fun. He's not gonna do much. Look, you know how you said, David, earlier, like 5 minutes ago. You know what you said? You said we're gonna get what we just got today from Robert Taylor. You know what that is? Least of the match.
He didn't play very much.
He played what? 15
That's what you're gonna get. That's what you're gonna get. I don't know what to tell you. 6.5. He's literally the worst. I don't know what to tell you.
6.5 in a limited amount of time is not awful.
It's pretty bad.
That's like what you start with when you enter a match.
Yeah, he entered the pitch.
Exactly.
6.5.
Exactly.
It's not like he entered the pitch.
He did no wrong.
The wheels fell off.
He did no good. He did no wrong. Sometimes you just need a dude out there, man.
Yeah, he's a dude from Finland.
And when I was
with a hope and a dream.
When I was doing management, I was hiring folks, and sometimes you're like, you get a mirror, you put him in the front, you put him on his mouth, and you're like, hey, he can breathe. Let's go hire him. You know what I mean? That's basically what this is.
The weirdest hiring process.
This is it. Well, you're literally describing it.
Card on his head.
Robert Taylor, he can breathe. There you go. I'm being harsh. Look, ultimately, he's a veteran, like you guys say. I don't think you're gonna get much from him. That's the truth, because we're also comparing him now to, guess what? We have a world class roster that there's a lot of folks that do a lot of good things, and I don't know if he's not necessarily. He is what Inter Miami. He was. There's a reason why he was our starter in Inter Miami a few years ago, right? And we've gone so far from that. We had Gomez last year, and now we have these folks. And I'm going to tell you, that right there is where we're heading. We're not trying to go backwards. So this guy is at most, he is a fill-in whenever we are down a guy or whenever there's someone on international play. And and that's what he's going to be for us. So I agree with what you guys are saying. Do I think he's going to be anything sensational? No. He's a very streaky player, and to be honest, he hasn't had a good streak since
Leagues Cup with Messi.
It's hard to get streaky when you don't play regularly, so that I don't really hold that against him. If we're gonna answer random questions, then I want to answer Jonathan.
We'll go to the least of the match, yeah. And somebody asked something about
real quick. Jonathan Stromberg asked,
Yeah.
If you have MLS passes that cover all the MLS games for all the games for Miami, no, it only covers MLS competitions. And is there another competition that gets covered? I'm not sure.
Leagues Cup,
But
I believe, is covered.
Leagues Cup. But right now the match that they play against Jamaica, those will not be on Apple TV. Those will be. I mean, you have to check
Fox.
your local listings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
In the
know
US, it's Fox.
here was Fox Sports 2 that was covering it, and you
We
got to
usually
see
announce it too, right?
what the other
You-
affiliates are. Yeah.
Usually, if you follow, I think it's the CONCACAF Champions Cup
At
Twitter and
Heron.
Instagram, they post like a whole map of all of the Americas, and they post what broadcasts they're on. So like sometimes Disney Plus for the Caribbean, and it just has everything there. So if you follow them, they'll post it, and we post it too if you follow us.
I like this question because it's something that I noticed in this game, specifically with the defense. Henry asks, basically, he wants to know if we're fast enough in game, and we seem a lot faster. I mean, honestly, in attack too, with Segovia and Allende, but the defense really stood out to me with their pace. Frey, Allen, Lujan, they all look so much faster than previous iterations of this Inter Miami defense.
Without Toto, I think we're so much faster. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Just
I mean, like
today's team. I love the way it went.
I really like the setup of today's team. I really liked it, and it felt like no one. There were gaps, and that was just a byproduct of turning it over at really inopportune times. But there was never a moment where I was like, we just got absolutely smoked there. Like the last time we played Houston. Am I right, Jose?
You're right. And somebody said, who was it? Henry, I think he said, sweet revenge for Miami. Unfortunately, it's not. Like, we need to beat him. We need to beat them like this, like 5 times, because what they did to us it was a final.
Yeah, it was a U.S. Open Cup final.
I mean, no, they took our cookies and they made us watch. And we literally watched them eat our cookies. After we literally put the cookies in the oven, we watched the cookies bake, and then they said my cookies, and they ate them, and you watched them.
And Jose loves his cookies.
So with little milk. And you know who was watching next to me because I was there? You know who was watching in the stands with me in that game? Yedlin, because he wasn't on the pitch. I'll tell you that.
It's been 2 years, folks. It's been 2 years.
Yes, this is an important match, man, and we lost the final. People don't forget.
I was tell you, it was pretty bad. I think he was like literally a few games later, he's traded away. He's like, "You're like, this is rough."
Yeah, Jose made a few calls.
The same way I did.
Jose put the mirror in front of his mouth. Don't figure it out.
Henry's asking where my cap is. That's for predictions, not for post games.
Oh, guys,
and for no Allen.
I forgot. This is something very important. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but for any of our viewers and listeners that are in the South Florida area on March 16, is that right?
Right.
Confirm March 16. Our match against Atlanta United. We will be having and hosting a watch party at Beat Culture Brewery. That's very nearby where the new stadium's going up. So we hope to see you guys there. Please join us. Everyone's welcome. So again, at Beat Culture Brewery on March 16 for the match against Atlanta United, we will be having a watch party there, and we hope to see you all there. I will try to do a better job of saying at the beginning of our shows instead of randomly in the middle.
I mean, we just
only the true fans that are still listening at this point will.
It's basically a secret. There. It's like if you've listened this long, we're gonna tell you where we're gonna be in a couple of weeks.
Well, and that leads us right into least of the match. You know what I mean?
Not what to tell you.
Perfect transition.
Oh man! All right. So least of the match. What are your predictions?
Man, I have a hard time with this one.
Bright.
Hoop, yeah.
Bright had a yellow card. Bright had a yellow card, so that's not a bad one.
And some bad.
He got a yellow card. He was subbed out early, and he just didn't have a great game. I think.
Redondo, who was on for a small amount of time and picked up a yellow.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even counting subs.
Oh, okay, if we're not counting subs, then
because I don't want to put Robert Taylor in there, and then you guys think I'm picking on him.
Robert Taylor would not be the least.
You know what?
I want to be different, although my logically.
Guys, it's 1 second. Let's go. Dave, now go.
Ustari, forgivable goal.
Okay. Julio, next.
Lujan.
No. Go ahead, Chris.
I already said Bright.
All you were wrong. Gremaski at 6.4.
Really?
Terrible game.
That makes sense.
6.4
Did
is
you
the
even
lowest.
see him? Did you even see him do anything in this game?
It makes sense for exactly that reason. Did you even really notice him?
I
Happy
thought he
birthday,
had
by
a-
the way,
I
Ben.
thought he had.
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Gremaski.
He had a good chance that it was ruined because it was a bad pass.
Coach
If he
King
had,
Alfonso.
for the game.
if he had
I
a
thought-
pass from Alfonso, he would have had a chance to really put a dangerous ball in play. But
I thought he had
Yeah.
a decent first half. I thought when we were pressing heavy first half, I thought he was doing a good job pressing, and he actually created a chance for the first goal. So I'm kind of surprised, but I guess I see it.
Yeah, terrible game. The next up was the next one that nobody guessed. Noah Allen. You guys were all clamoring about how much of a great game he did.
I didn't see that
Oh,
at
yeah.
all.
There's
So
so many
scored
points.
threes.
There's so many points of reference with Noah Allen that what we're seeing right now just feels extraordinary.
Correct. Correct. Where we've been and where we are,
Yeah.
it has to be taken into account with yeah. I almost didn't want to because you gotta get +2 for having the little captain band. You know that should give you +2. You know, and then at that point, my that's where I would have put Robert Taylor. But then he would have been at 6.5, right on. You know, put him right in there.
That's surprising. I thought he did really good on defense. To be honest, I didn't see him give up anything too bad.
Yeah, and he had a lot of
We
standout
almost had a
plays.
clean sheet.
Mhm.
You know, we almost had a clean sheet. So I'm assuming, how many mistakes could we have had in the back end? You know.
There were honestly so few, like none really come to mind. Again, there was just a couple plays where Houston caught the break and were able to pass around the back. There was the one huge chance that Houston had, I think, toward the end of the first half,
Had the
where
XGs, so just-
where the
that question's coming.
Alisu was wide open on the back post and just completely missed the wide open net. But outside of that, we really didn't give up many big chances. Any big chances?
Yeah. So that leads us into XG, I'm sure. Yeah. XG, we had 1.5 for Miami, 0.65 for Houston. So you're right, not many for them.
I thought
Yeah,
we
and
had
our
a
XG
higher
was
XG.
fairly low
Mhm.
entering the half when we were up 3-0 already, because really all the chances were
High
well
difference.
taken. The highest XG was probably the first Segovia goal,
yeah,
because
Yeah,
he was one-on-one with the keeper. But even the second one that he had, there were a couple defenders between him and the goalkeeper, and the ball was, I don't know, it was very tight quarters.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
and
great.
the Allende was a super tough shot, so that's not a high XG goal. But yeah.
Duels, Miami won it 55%, 54% possession for us. Just dominant. And my favorite stat that I'm always gonna to say it because I want to make sure that Calendar doesn't take away any time from Mustadi. Not just to almost clean sheet, but 85% passing accuracy. That's such a it's a crazy stat for us considering where we came from. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He had 11 long balls, 11 long ball passes. 5 of them were accurate. It's ridiculous. It never happened before.
And just really quick on the XG too, I feel like specifically in games where Messi doesn't play, being able to outperform the XG is so valuable. Like, and you can obviously say that in most cases, but you expect to some extent Messi to outperform his XG because what he's able to do, it's not computable by XG. It doesn't factor in the fact that Messi's on the ball. So to be able to outperform the XG by 2.5 in this match is really, really telling of how well these players played tonight and how well the offense played tonight. So I think that's a really key statistic to watch for in matches that Messi doesn't play. And to see them outperform it by so much, I think is really, really obviously very positive, but specifically because of Messi not being involved.
Yeah, just to answer Henry's question real quick. If Jordy and Frey got red carded, no, just Frey got a red card, Jordy got a yellow. There's quite a few yellows today, more than what we've seen so far this season.
It was very last year Inter Miami where we just
Right.
as the match is sort of waning down, yellow card here, yellow card there. Redondo, you just got subbed on, yellow card.
Mhm.
Jordy, yellow card for basically chasing a guy down who fouled him and just clipping his leg from behind.
Or just Charlie horsed him.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell was that?
Just felt completely unneeded. But
Right, almost got a red card.
yeah,
at the end
he's
there.
extremely lucky to not have been red carded.
He really should have. He should have gotten that second yellow, but whatever.
The ref did him
I'll
a
take
huge
it.
favor.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, it would have been very obnoxious.
Another question or statement from Henry. Tough fight awaits us in D form of Charlotte and Philadelphia. Yeah, Charlotte and Philadelphia both look awesome this season. Charlotte with Zaha up there in attack, they look potent, man. I think that's our next match, MLS match at least.
Yeah, and they just
Charlotte.
beat Atlanta 2-0 yesterday.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's meant to be pretty good this year.
He's right wing, right? He's their right wing.
Left.
I think he's left wing.
I prefer that.
I mean, he had, I think, 2 goals and an assist yesterday or something like that. Is insane.
He'll be matched up
Or just 2
against
goals.
Frey.
I prefer
Cello.
honestly. I prefer that because then we get it. I'd honestly put Cello on him. I know you like honestly like Cello would he'd probably knock him on his butt. He won't be doing much running.
Yeah, it's more close quarters with Zaha is where you don't want to be. I mean, yeah, he's a nightmare to defend.
Yeah.
We don't
think
play
you go
Philadelphia.
you're more defending,
So later.
you're better defense.
I would imagine our next 2 MLS matches are Charlotte and then Atlanta.
And Atlanta, yeah, which is the watch party.
Right.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
Another
Charlotte looks
Sunday
good
night
so
soccer.
far. Charlotte looks good so far. And LA Galaxy lost again. I don't know if you saw that. They lost their second match now.
Mhm.
So the reigning champs are 0-2.
Yeah, we actually have a rough MLS schedule coming up. Is Charlotte, Atlanta, and then Philadelphia. That's
And then
deadly.
throw in the CONCACAF games. There's a
Mhm.
lot of congestion right now. So
Yep.
good that Messi was able to rest. Hopefully there's nothing serious going on, which he wasn't even listed on the injury report. And there were videos and pictures coming out today of him signing autographs. So hopefully it's just under the table rest.
I read from our beat writer. I think her name's Lauren, right?
Why do you bring things up that you don't know?
No, is that right, Jose? Is that her name?
I don't know. I read from her that she said that he's not injured. That he's expected to play in the Cavalier games.
Yeah, I'm not all that surprised by that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I fully expect them. It's a home game. We'll have a preview, obviously, but it's a home game. I fully expect them to play.
We play in like 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
And we
He
play
said
Thursday.
obviously. He said
Oh,
obviously,
Thursday.
so it's like
It's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
he's
obviously.
probably gonna do it. That's what I think.
Obviously.
Our fans want to see the pregame, guys. Come on.
All right, yeah.
Book it.
But yeah, I fully expect him to play. It's home game. I think if you blow them out, game 1, game 2 isn't even a worry, and he could play against Charlotte next week because it's an important match against Charlotte. I think he also needs to play against Charlotte next week, which is another Sunday game, like afternoon or something like that. I think it's Sunday at 4 p.m.
That could be because of the midweek
Yeah.
matches. They're giving us like
Sunday
an
4
extra day here and there.
This is a good question. I don't know the answer to. Maybe you guys can enlighten me.
Jose?
Since Frey's red came post whistle, is he would only miss the next MLS match, right? He's not gonna have to miss 2. I've never heard of somebody missing 2, even though the red came after the whistle.
I thought it was just 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Fine,
1 is usually you're out for that match and then the next. But if the match was over, I don't know. I still think I would err on the side of caution and say it's just the 1. But
I would say 1.
we'll see. Hopefully they rescind it.
Yeah.
And the next question, Jordi Alba controls the game very well. What you say? I would agree. I think Jordi Alba has such a great pace to his game, and it just I think that's one of the players that this year, particularly, that's always going to be a when he's not playing. That's just something we can't replace at left back. It's just I don't think there's anyone that can do what he does, and we've put Noah Allen there in the past.
We have Noah Allen now. What are you talking about? We have evolved Noah Allen now.
Yeah, no, but when Noah Allen was there,
not as bad.
No, but it's not. It's pretty bad. It's just still really bad. He can keep like the defense okay there, but I wouldn't. He can't do like what Henry's saying, the pace that he plays in, the way he controls in the offensive side, the passing that he does. It's incredible.
It's
Two-time captain Noah Allen,
to
right?
you.
Correct.
Make sure you're
Alba
addressing
has
him
not
correctly.
had the captain's ban. Noah Allen has.
Well,
Jordy got it last match, and then
And
he gave it to Allen.
He gave it to Allen. The pressure was too much.
Well, did Jordy not get
Pressure?
subbed off, or he just gave it to Allen?
He gave it. Messi
Mhm.
handed it to Alba, and he handed it straight to
Got it.
the true,
Yeah.
the true,
True captain.
homegrown American captain. Yeah,
Okay, rookie.
Uh,
I'm the
That's 'cause-
biggest Noah
That's
Allen.
because Jordy
fan.
wants to go and kick people and give them Charlie horses. You
Right,
can't do that with
right.
the captain's
Jordy,
band.
Exactly.
Jordy doesn't want to have that pressure. He's like,
It's
"Listen,
it's a bad look if the captain's the one running around
Right.
smacking people in the back.
This is actually an awesome comment. Noah Allen has matured. Wish Toto would as well. Yeah, 100%.
100%.
I really wish Toto could
100%.
mature as fast as Noah Allen has. That'll help our defense out tremendously if he could do
Well,
that.
It would be so nice because Toto has all the skills to be a very good player. It's just the above the shoulders issues. Like you
ridiculous.
can't relax with him back there because at any moment the wheels are gonna fall off and he's gonna get an insta red and then it puts you behind the 8 ball like it did last match. So yeah, Noah Allen, it was more of a skill like turn for him. Like he actually learned the position better and kind of fixed everything because he's always had the hustle and all that. But Toto is just a maturity issue, and you hope that he turns that corner with us.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Toto has a very obviously has a higher ceiling than Noah Allen, but his immaturity just strikes him down a few pegs. I've heard the same thing. No, Henry's asking about. I don't know if he's asking. He's asking to comment or not to comment. I'm not
He's
sure.
asking us not to.
No, he's saying not to comment on it, but
Okay,
So it's good that you started reading it. That's perfect.
it's a good point to bring up. He's saying not to say no Messi, no problem, but we're not saying it because we don't want Messi out there or anything. We're saying because we're so used to seeing this team struggle without Messi out there, or before Messi got here. Obviously, they were not a good team, and all of the rumors or the news was that without Messi, this team is nothing. Without Messi, this team is nothing. We saw it last season when they went on that run, and today they played lights out again. So it's just refreshing to be able to see this team come together without Messi necessarily having to be out there. We could give him his rest that he's needed. He could play whatever international match he needs to play. The point is that he doesn't need to be out there. This team doesn't rely on him 100% to be out there. And it's just refreshing as a fan to see that.
No,
unless it's the final, then I need him to play.
But the no Messi thing, it's yes, he's not on the pitch, but Messi's a part of this club and he has his fingerprints throughout the club. Every single player has elevated their play because of Messi. Messi's not just out there on the pitch affecting the game, but in training, he's showing these players how to be a true professional and how to go about their business, and it shows on the pitch when he's on there and when he's not on there.
He's in
So
their hearts.
that's why I'm not gonna say, oh, we can flourish without Messi. It's like, no, Messi still has his fingerprints all over this club.
Yeah.
All right. Good job not talking about
It's beautiful, guys.
it. No, but well said. I agree with all those points. Jose?
Me too. I agree with all those points.
Oh,
Ridiculous.
all right.
So I guess we will be previewing Cavalier.
Unless you guys don't want to.
No,
Let's go over standings real quick. How about that?
Sure. How about that? Now that
Everyone
we're through
everyone's
match
talking
day
about.
2.
I saw stupid comments earlier today about Miami being mid-table team after one freaking match. Like, come on, man.
Stupid.
We're in third place now in the
Stupid.
East. Like, just
We're
get over
becoming a
yourselves.
lock on the betting. Let's just say in betting, we're just becoming a lock. Just bet every time on them.
I could not believe we were underdogs.
That's
Stupid.
crazy.
Why didn't
So
you
we
tell me
got-
that before the match? They were underdogs.
Yeah, look,
I
man.
was too busy placing bets.
Just putting the house on it.
So yeah, and then in the East we got Philadelphia first, Columbus second, Miami third, and Charlotte fourth. And the West, if anyone cares, San Jose with the big turnaround, they're in first. In the West with Vancouver, LAFC, and the new boys or the new kids on the block, San Diego, at fourth.
How is this team Cavalier? I believe they were 4th in the Jamaican League before this weekend. I couldn't tell you the first thing about them. I would imagine they are not great on paper because I could not tell you a single thing about the Jamaican League. So we'll see. We'll learn and talk about a lot of this team on Tuesday or Wednesday when we preview. But we have our hands full with having to research them. Jose will probably lead the conversation.
Cavalier, we have a football team.
I could tell you right now.
No, save it for the preview.
Okay.
Just make sure you have all your stats in order for Cavalier.
Sure.
Star players, history of the team, the whole thing.
Right. So with all that said, another great Inter Miami evening, a very good win, the first win of the MLS season, and a lot of positive momentum heading into this next round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So we will do a preview, I'm sure, and then we will be live post-match as with all matches on Thursday. So thank you all for hanging out with us on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one. Bye.